Welcome to the GCN Tech Show.
This week we're discussing if the lightweight climbing bike is finally dead in pro racing. Has the recent Tour de France killed them off?
And in Hot Tech this week we have a new canyon for Valtteri Bottas, a new canyon for Ollie, we have new 3D printed cycling chamois, we got Speedy valves, plus of course comments of the week and the bike vault. Let's do this.
Let's go. So this week we're discussing if the lightweight climbing bike is finally dead in pro racing. And that's come off the back of this year's Tour de France, which was dominated by Tadej Pogacar and Jonas Vingegaard. And they both opted to ride Aero bikes throughout the entire race. You know, in years past, we've seen this happen on flat stages, but they were using them in mountain stages and on summit finishes. And this was despite both riders having a lightweight bike option at their disposal.
Not only that, you had Ben O'Connor won the Queen stage on the Giant Propel, which is their Aero bike.
Yeah.
Simon Yates won the Giro, the Col de Venestra, on the Cervelo S5. Also won a mountain stage in the Tour aboard the S5 as well.
Yeah, and in previous years, I think you would have, in mountainous stages, GC contenders and climbers opting for a lightweight option, right? Like a climbing bike. Because the thinking was that they would be able to draft in the bunch, and then where they needed the bike to perform was on the climb, where it needed to be lighter. And so Aero didn't matter when they were drafting behind their teammates.
Yeah.
And then they would just launch it on the summit finish and
with the lightest bike, and they just ride to victory.
Yeah.
That mindset's changed though, right? Because people have now got a greater awareness and acceptance of aerodynamics, and are kind of aware of the fact that even if you're riding in the bunch, in the peloton, if you're on the Aero bike, you're still saving watts. And I guess the goal is to arrive at the final climb to the finish, having expended as little energy as possible.
Yeah, and this isn't like a new thing. Experts and engineers such as Dan Bigham, have been banging this drum for a very long time, saying that if, riding an Aero bike in the bunch, you're still saving energy, and that energy adds up over time. So I guess someone like him, he'll just be sat at home right now going,
shouting at the screen.
Told you so.
Yeah.
There you go. But I think we should quantify what the sort of differences are between the two different setups, so people can kind of understand.
We can generalise it quite well. Yeah.
So it does vary from brand to brand between their Aero bike option and their lightweight bike option.
Yeah.
But the Aero bike is heavier, and a lot of time, the lightweight bike option, they can build it to around 6.8 kilograms, okay?
Yeah.
The Aero bike option, around 300 grams heavier than that in some models. Although, in the case of Pogacar's two bikes, we know that the difference is more, like around 600 grams, although from the time trial onwards, he was using a stripped back version that was bare carbon. So removing the paint.
Deficit.
Removing the paint, it's typically saved in the region around 200 grams there. So
there's the difference of wheels as well. So going for a slightly deeper rim, about 15 millimeters increase in rim depth, talking about 100 grams of weight.
As a rule of thumb, you're looking at about 100 grams,
Okay, it's pretty interesting.
So, and in the case of Jonas Vingegaard, his Cervelo S5 compared to his R5, it's about 300 grams.
Now, when we were speaking about this the other day, you gave me an absolutely mega example of moments gone by in history of, say, like a Grand Tour. I think Nairo Quintana was the example you were given, of how the equipment choice, you could almost calculate it backwards and go, well, that without a doubt had an impact on the race result.
Oh, without any shadow of a doubt for me, the 2015 Tour de France, won by Chris Froome, Nairo Quintana lost that race and came second because of poor equipment choices.
You got to. I think you got to expand on this a little bit. Come on.
So he lost the race by 1 minute 12 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. And 1 minute 30 was lost on stage 2 when he got caught out in the crosswinds.
Yeah.
And he was clawing back a load of time on the last sort of big mountain stage, where he was going up Alpe d'Huez, and he dropped Froome.
Yeah.
And Froome was ill towards the back end of that race, but Nairo Quintana was stronger in the mountains at the back end of the race. Now, the crazy thing is at the time he had a choice between a Canyon Ultimate and a Canyon Air Road.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Canyon Air Road at that time was the the rim brake Mark II Air Road.
Yeah.
Amazing bike. You used to race on it.
Loved it.
Yeah, mega. And that bike in Nairo Quintana's size could be built down to 6.8 kilograms.
Yeah.
Like, he could have ridden the aero bike, but he chose not to. He chose the non-aero bike, and that also was incredibly light. So much so that when we did bike check videos on those bikes, back in the day, they were adding weight. The mechanics were adding little like lead weights, like inside the seat post and stuff, to that bike to make it 6.8 kilos.
Right, this is the thing that blows my mind, right? Because we've spoken about this in the past, and I know you've definitely spoken about this, where if you're going to have to add weight to the bike, why the hell would you not use a bike or a component that adds that weight in a functional way?
Oh no, it's
like, what?
Yeah, it's stupid.
I won't use the aero bike. I'll use the really light bike and then add weight on.
You're adding non-functional mass. Like, you could have just used some slightly deeper wheels, whatever.
Yeah.
There's also stuff like, he was using massive handlebars. Nairo Quintana's a little guy.
Yeah.
But he was, using huge, like, 42s. But it was basically people were stuck in their ways.
Well, he wouldn't have to worry about the proposed UCI change to the rules now, would he?
No, he'd be golden, yeah.
Nairo, your handlebars are actually too wide.
Yeah.
Things have changed though, right?
Yeah, and like that old school sort of thinking has gone, and the big thing is that aero trumps weight in pretty much like most scenarios, and the big one is that you can calculate that a pro rider riding in the bunch on an aero bike is still saving energy, so much so that over the course of every stage in the Tour de France, if you added up the difference of the energy that's being saved between an aero bike and a climbing bike, it works out that if you're on the less aerodynamic setup, you're riding the equivalent of like an extra stage compared to everyone else.
Yeah, that's actually mental.
The kilojoule expenditure, it adds up and it becomes massive.
Yeah, I think that's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. Imagine adding a stage into the Tour de France because you chose the wrong equipment.
Well, you're effectively doing that, yeah.
Yeah. The advantage is also clear on the climbs as well, right? We've spoken about this in the past. So the sort of clear example that we've often given is 5 watts of power saving, be that in aerodynamics, is often more valuable and more advantageous than a reduction in weight of 1 kilogram for a 70 kilo rider.
Yeah, as a rule of thumb for that sort of 70 kilogram rider at sort of pro sort of speeds and stuff. Yeah, that is fair. So if you then look at the differences in weight between the two bikes, it's less than a kilo.
Yeah,
right. We're typically talking half a kilo, right? So if you go half a kilo, so then. And then you look at what's the aero difference. Now, at the speeds that they're climbing at, you're looking on a climb like Alpe d'Huez, 20 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
And a lot of those climbs, it's around 20 kilometres an hour. So at that sort of speed, your wattage saving from riding the aero bike is not the sort of 20 watts that you see banded around, 20, 30 watts.
Press releases.
Yeah, at 50k an hour, it's a lot less. So it becomes more like 2 to 3 watts. But, and this is the crucial thing, because the pro riders are going like 20 kilometers an hour on these climbs, aero is still really significant. What you then have is a situation where the more aerodynamic bike, yes, it's heavier, but because you're still getting a bit back in aero, only 2 or 3 watts, it cancels out the weight impact. Now, that's different if you're a regular rider and you're going really, really slowly and you're not getting any, significant aero benefit from the equipment.
Yeah.
The rest of us riding up mountains would probably stand to benefit more from a lighter setup.
Well, this is actually that's a really good point, because it leads me on to really highlight why we actually even decided to discuss this in the first place, right? Because I think it's probably fair to say, tell me if you agree or not, this is the first year in the men's Tour de France we've really seen GC leaders stick to using aero bikes. So I think that's like a first, which is why we wanted to talk about it. And also then on the flip side of that, if you look at the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, so the female Tour de France, it was like kind of like the opposite story in some isolated cases. Take Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, for example, rode the aero bike for the majority of the race. However, on the last two stages...
The two most mountainous
stages. The two most mountainous stages. She did make the switch to using the lightweight bike and still absolutely decimated the field. Yeah,
so I think it's what they will be doing there, because that team is incredibly analytical, Visma Lease bike. I'm sure that they will have analysed it.
Yeah.
And they will have gone, right, well, this is the watts per kilo she's doing. This is the speed that she's likely to do on the climb. Yeah. This is her weight.
Yeah.
And this is her system mass with the bike included. And the thing is, for a smaller rider, the equation changes compared to the pro men.
Yeah, big time.
Because the women, she was climbing the Madeleine at, just over 5 watts per kilo, whereas the men are doing it over 6 watts per kilo.
Yeah.
And so the climbing speed is higher.
Yeah.
So the aero bike has a bit more benefit, but also the men are bigger, so that it's a smaller percentage of their overall system mass.
Yeah.
So having a lighter bike can be more advantageous.
Yeah, I think
for the women.
Yeah, the crossover point from like lightweight bike to aero point, as you say, very different in the men's pro race to the women's pro race. I've got a couple of real loose examples to give you here. So average female pro rider weight is about, give or take, 15 kilograms lighter than average male pro. And then in terms of the average speeds, right, both the male and female Tour de France this year, there was about a 3 kilometre an hour slower overall race average speed in the female race than the men's race. So there's your kind of differences and why we perhaps see the lightweight bike as a little bit more of an option in those races.
And that's the other thing. It's as the racing gets faster, the aero bike becomes more important that they use it.
Yeah.
Because the power you need to output to go a particular speed increases exponentially with regards to speed. So, if the bunch is now cruising along at 50k an hour and you have to cruise along at 40k an hour, you need much more power to go that extra speed. And so if everyone is rolling along on an aero bike and you're not on an aero bike, all of a sudden the amount of energy that you're having to produce is actually going up. If the speed of the bunch is now faster than it was, say, 5 years ago, which it is.
So what we're saying, us mere mortals, choose whatever bike you like.
Well, I think this is the thing. We're not talking about the bikes that all of us should ride.
Yeah, totally.
And we just further that the point. It's like the other thing as well we didn't mention is where the aero bike has an advantage is in a way that people don't necessarily think. So we touched on it a bit, but it's if you're in a race situation and you've got to ride 100 kilometers before you get to the base of the climb, the summit finish, okay? Another way to look at that is not just that your bike is heavier for the summit finish, but because we said that 5 watts is worth a bit more than a kilo of weight.
Yeah.
If you can put out an extra 5 watts on the climb,
because you saved it throughout the rest of the stage.
Yeah. So another way to look at it is trying to expend the fewest amount of kilojoules possible before you reach the bottom of that key climb. And that is another advantage. Because of the racing speeds being higher and all the rest of it, the aero bike is allowing riders to be fresher when they reach, having expended less energy when they reach the key moment.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, that is cool.
Just wanted to get that bit.
No, I think it's good. It's good to highlight that. I think that's basically our thoughts on it, right?
Yeah. And I think in terms for pro racers and for people in the Tour de France. I'm like the aero bike is the only bike that I would sort of consider really at the moment for that. But from my own riding.
What bike did you last take on your last trip away?
Well, a lightweight bike. I took my own bit. No, but that's because I'm not racing
the Tour de France.
I'm cruising around, the south of France with a group of friends, having a great time, and absolutely blooming loved it.
There you go.
And
Well, I'll tell you what, please do get involved in the comment section down below. Share your thoughts on the Aero lightweight bike, because the debate rages on. There is a bit more of a clear-cut answer in terms of pro racing, but what does everyone at home like to ride? Yeah, let us know. Okay, it's now time for Hot and Spicy Tech, and we are going to kick things off with some new Speedy valves. Not because they're making your bike go faster, but they mean you can pump your tyres up faster.
Yeah, I think this is the most underrated invention in cycling this year.
I thought you were going to say ever. I was going to say that's big.
So it's something that we all take for granted is the Presta valve, right? And then Topeak have very, very quietly redesigned and reinvented the Presta valve with something that I think is a lot more suitable for what we actually need now.
Yeah.
So this is a new valve design, and you can put these in as tubeless valves.
Yeah.
Right? But the big takeaway is that they allow for more airflow, and they're designed not to clog. So according to Topeak, because I've got the packet here, they get 3 times more airflow, and they also don't clog with sealant. So the advantage of this is when you have those issues where you're struggling to seat a tyre and you need a big compressor pump or something that injects a load of air in really quickly.
Well, hopefully you don't.
Well, they reckon that you can just use a standard pump and you'll be able to seat your tyres and get sealant through them more easily and all the rest of it. It's just a clever little redesign of a Presta, but it still is compatible with a Presta pump. But I think it's just a simple little neat thing, but
also
a bit of innovation.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Would you just care to blow through that for me so we can test 3 times?
Beg your
3
pardon.
times airflow? Yeah, definitely 3 times more airflow.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've
tested
that now. Right, moving swiftly on from that. Valtteri Bottas has a new Canyon bike, and it is the Bottas 77 limited edition Grail CFR. So,
Gravel Jesus, as he's also known.
Yeah, okay, you can call him that. So this bike it's like a co-development between Canyon and Valtteri Bottas, and it's designed to celebrate the F1 star's favourite 77 race number, which apparently just so happens to be the golden era of disco. Did you know that?
Oh, well, I wasn't around then.
Wasn't alive then.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's loads of cool bits on the bike. Have a look at the couple of pictures here I've got for you, right? Bottas on his new bike in the disco. I wonder if that was at the Canyon Christmas party last year. And also...
In the disco, Alan die Nacht.
There's a cool little golden nugget, right? Is that the Canyon head tube logo is actually now like a moustache.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
He does get cool bikes, old Bottas, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And if you do want to get your hands on one, you can, of course. Canyon have them available on their website. But there's only 100 of them available.
Of course.
So if you want to get one, I guess you better be speedy. Talking of new bikes, you got a new bike from Canyon as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So this is a new My Canyon.
Yeah, a My Canyon Aero, although I can't tell you why I've got it. It's a secret.
It's a secret. Okay, what we can do is have a picture of it, right?
Yeah.
Here's a picture of it. It's not the bike vote, so you can't vote it nice or super nice, but you can let us know what you think of it in the comment section down below.
Yeah. What have we got next?
Okay, next up. Now, this is, on the face of it, not very exciting, right? I'm talking about the chamois, or if you're American,
to sell it.
The pad in a cycling short, okay?
Yeah.
Historically, they've been made from foam or like a gel insert.
Yeah.
Now, Elastic Interface, which is basically one of the companies who tend to make the cycling chamois for a vast array of different shorts and brands, have introduced a 3D printing method for creating the foam insert. Well, it's not foam, it's the 3D
So it's a bit like
structure.
this.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. It's a very similar kind of technology to that. They're calling it N3X, which is their sort of brand name for it. But what it means is you've got a material which is hydrophobic, so repels sweat and water, so it can't absorb it. It's highly breathable. There's minimal waste to it because you haven't got to have a large section and then cut the little pieces out. You can make the shape that you want to use. And it should mean that your cycling shorts could potentially last longer as well. Which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But what it does...
Well, the big thing for me is if you try this and it's way more comfortable, especially on longer rides, then I'd be like, yeah, sold.
So what I was going to say is it poses the question to me of, if we're using...
I don't know if it is yet.
I don't know. We haven't tried it. If you're using a similar tech to what's being used on some of the latest 3D printed saddles, it feels like these two industries and areas really need to work together. It feels like people making saddles really should be the same people making the inserts for shorts, or they should at least work closely on this. Whereas at the moment, I don't really think that happens. It's a bit weird. Yeah. Okay. Also, moving on to hot tech, we caught up with the guys at Core the other week.
This really is hot tech.
This really is hot tech. Yeah. So hopefully by now most people have heard of heat training. It's nothing new anymore. The fact pro riders and amateur riders have been doing it to help improve their performance for a little while now. But Core have given us some really interesting insights. Now, if you're not aware, Core didn't invent heat training. They just invented the sensor that helps you monitor heat training and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And they said that in the men's Tour de France, 17 out of the 21 stages were won by riders using Core sensors, and every stage from stage 7 to 16, which was like the hottest part of the race, was won by athletes who rely on Core's body temperature monitoring technology. So what I'm trying to get at is it's like the greater awareness of this and the acceptance of this kind of technology. Because you've utilised it, I've utilised it, and I just think if people want to try to improve their performances, like heat training could be one of those things.
I think it's an absolute game changer.
You do, yeah.
I completely swear by it.
Okay, there you go.
And I've found that, when I'm riding in the heat,
which is quite regularly, because you go all to the hot places. Every other week you're on a big trip or holiday.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
There's a video that hopefully is coming out soon. It's not out yet on the channel.
Yeah.
And in it, I ride up a massive climb with a good friend of mine, right? And we were just sort of cruising up at, zone 2 up this climb. But it was a very hot day, and as we got to the top, I was still in. He's a very similar level fitness to me, and as we got to the top, I was still in zone 2, but with my heart rate and my power. Okay, he had massively disconnected. And his heart rate was now like zone 4 heart rate, like 170
But zone
beats
2
per minute,
power.
But zone 2 power still.
Okay.
And the difference was that I was heat trained and he wasn't. And that's typically one of the things that you will see. There's other advantages to it, but that's one of the things. And it was just the heat that then caused that huge disconnect between the heart rate and what the body's actually able to do.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I was like, bloody hell,
my heat training gains are definitely long gone to runbound now, but I'm going to get back on it soon. Also, Core is saying that they've been working on some partnerships with clothing brands as well, one of those being, I believe, Q36.5, because they're looking at how...
Integrating it in or getting the clothing cool?
Yeah, how the clothing manufacturers can optimise aerodynamics and cooling as well, because the two really need to go hand in hand. It's no good having a crazy airy fabric if you melt to death inside.
Don't wear black.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then finally in hot tech, I've got something cool that I've been meaning to include in the tech show for quite a few weeks now. Check this out, right? It's a little box. Inside here is for something called a frame tag, okay? I was sent this by a really kind guy. It's some little name tags, stickers that go on your bike, right? But these are next level. Rather than just being one big block sticker, individual letters, 3D
it's really
sort of texture to them. Let me read the letter out. So I thought it was actually really good.
It's a good letter.
Dear Alex, I'm Jerry, I'm 15 and this is my first business. It's called Frame Tag. We make custom transfers for road bikes, the kind that you see on pro team frames, but designed with a cleaner, more minimal aesthetic for riders who care about the details. That's us, we care about the details. So inside here I've got a few different frame stickers, little put them on smooth, some alcohol wipes, and Jerry says they've handled everything themselves, from designing the packaging, building the website, testing the materials on their own bike. Every detail matters, and I just thought it was really cool.
That is really cool.
I'm going to save that and put them on some of my nice bikes.
I tried to put one on one of my bikes.
You got a set as well, did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
so it was just me.
No. I tried to put one on my bike, but then the ceramic coat interfered with the adhesion of the sticker.
Oh.
Got ceramic coat on it.
Okay.
So I need to do a little bit of ceramic coat off and then put the sticker on.
There you go. Thanks, Jerry. More hot tech next week.
Cheers, Jerry.
Right, comments of the week now, shall we? These were comments that you've been leaving underneath our videos from last week. And firstly, we're going to go through the comments from the show, right?
Yeah, so in last week's show, we were talking about the marketing of bike companies and how they focus on sort of race products, performance products, and the kind of bikes that are ridden in the Tour de France is where the majority of marketing spend and effort goes. And rather than stuff that's for just everybody just wanting to go out and have an adventure.
Yeah. So do you want to read this first comment out? Because I thought it was really good.
Yes, it's from Comacam, who says, skiing is actually a great example for this. Whereas bike companies focus their marketing around race bikes, the ski industry is more self-aware that race skis and ski boots are completely unsuitable for the vast majority of skiers. And so the marketing push is more around recreational options. I can't remember the last time I saw an ad for a true out-and-out race ski.
Yeah. Good point. I also picked out another comment which had a good thread of replies to it, agreeing and disagreeing, so let me read it out. Patch1815 says, GCN have some liability here too. The balance of bikes ridden in their videos tend to be top-end, inaccessible models to us mere mortals. Road, gravel, mountain bike, etc. It doesn't matter. It needs to be attainable to the masses. Now, in some ways, yes, I would agree, and that's why we cover a broad range of different bikes. But also, it's just really cool to see really cool bikes and the latest technology and the biggest innovations. And there was lots of people replying saying, I want to see more budget-friendly bikes, but also lots of people saying, hey, I love seeing the really cool bikes. Doesn't matter if I can't afford it or I don't want to have it, because it's just good to see all this new tech.
Yeah, it's like the whole appeal of Formula One. No one buys and drives a Formula One car. And no one's expected to. But
I like watching a video on a Ferrari, and I'm not going to buy one.
Yeah, it's there's an interesting engineering component. I think there's a balance to be struck for sure.
We try and strike a balance, don't we?
And we do we have we're a broad church.
Yeah. Plus, we also are in a very luxury position. We get to ride really nice bikes.
Yeah, but I think there's also, a large part of that is, in terms of how we work and how GCN works. We work with brands and we're very open and honest about that.
100%.
But the thing is, the brands are like, this is what we have.
This is what they've spent years developing all their money behind. They're like, we want to showcase what we've worked hard to make. Yeah, and it also means everyone can watch videos for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. We also had a video looking at some hot tech from the Tour de France fam Ave Swift, which Dan put together for us. Crucian1191 says, Cass's bike looks lovely, as do all the Canyon SRAM bikes. Up close, it's just a shame the paint job doesn't look that great in the race. Also loving the array of National Champs jersey. Right, I picked this out because last week I was at a top secret Canyon, My Canyon launch event. And I've got to say, right, I saw all of the My Canyon bikes in real life and they look absolutely amazing. But the first thing that was apparent to me is you can't show on an image on a screen how cool and detailed
you need
the paint
to see them
jobs
up close, don't
you? You need to. Yeah, you do need to. This is the thing.
Even like Van der Poel's bike, though.
Yeah, exactly.
It looks way better when you can see the detail on it. But you don't get that on the telly.
Yeah.
Stephen Russell says, how ridiculous that the handlebar rules are the same for the women. Way too wide for them. Could cause injuries, which the UCI could be sued for.
Yeah, don't know. I just thought it was an interesting point.
I'm not aware of any injuries that people have got through using handlebars that are too wide for them.
Me neither, but I like to highlight the fact of highlighting. It seems strange to have the same rule.
But I do agree that it is ludicrous that smaller people are made to use that, Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Okay, right. Let's just move on to the bike vault, shall we? First up this week. Sorry, we get the bell. I'll give an explainer here. So, if you want to upload pictures of your bike, you need to do so. Click in the link in the description down below. It will take you to Uploader, and then Ollie and I will judge your bike to be either nice or super nice. If it's super nice, the bell gets rung.
Right, what have we got first?
First one is from Slick Cyclist. With
he's in Canada, and he's got a giant Revolt 2, which he's purchased from a shop in Cambridge, Ontario.
Okay. Aluminium frame, carbon forks, Shimano Sora 2x9. Okay, cool. Right, what do we think of this?
Ooh.
Nice garage door, first thing. I like the bike.
I'm a big fan of that. It's a good adventure bike, isn't it?
Yeah.
And do you know what? Sora is the most underrated group set. My first road bike, had Sora on it.
So did mine. With
Would have
the,
been great.
but it was of an era before it had the little thumb button like tucked into the side. Did yours have your Sora have that or not? Or did it have the normal levers looking like this? Mine had the tiny little tab.
Yeah. Had the little tab thing going on.
Yeah.
The old style.
I'm glad that's gone, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think of the bike? I like
Trickle
it.
down, mate.
Trickle down.
The I like the third bottle cage on there.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think it's very neatly presented. It's very smart. It's a super nice. I really like that. Nice colour as well. Kern L has a new Orbea Orca Aero in raw carbon.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, it is the raw carbon. Yeah.
They also appear to have a new Volvo.
Yeah. Or they're about to get run over with their new bike.
Yeah.
Hopefully not that.
Yeah.
Volvo though, very safe car.
Yeah.
Very safe. Swedish. They're big into safety. Okay, so quite a few gubbins on this bike. They've taken the time to remove the water bottles, but not the top tube bag or.
It's in a weird gear. It's
weird
in
gear.
like a
Crank's
weird.
not aligned. Valve's not aligned.
It's, I like the raw carbon on that one. I just think, it's just too much gubbins go. You can't. It's that juxtaposition of an aero bike with gubbins.
Yeah. As much as I like your bike, I feel like I'm going to just say it's a nice because it's the presentation effort that's gone in.
The presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimal.
Right. Nice. Neil's next with a custom bike with a custom name. It's Baolija, a Chinese frame.
I've not heard of one of those.
No.
Have you heard of them before?
Apparently, with my self-invented name and custom paint job, brackets never got to sell any. Okay. 11-speed Ultegra. It's built for a heavier rider and served me thousands of kilometres with no problems. Okay.
I love the 11-speed Ultegra. Great group set.
Oversized pulley wheels on that.
Yeah.
It's given me like Tour de France yellow jersey leader bike vibes.
Yes.
Like
with the bar tape as well.
like, hi, I've just got into yellow at the Tour de France. Here's my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely giving me that vibe. It's an unusual frame I've not seen before. That's a very big, pronounced sort of arch going on.
Yeah. Bit of a hunchback top trim.
Yeah.
I kind of like it though, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's well presented.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'd like to super nice it.
Yeah, they've even colour matched the cable outers to be yellow as well.
There you go.
I think that's a super nice.
Super nice.
Yeah, that's someone that's taken time and care.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like it. Will next. You go, go on.
Has a Cinelli Superstar, which he says is in front of the Caylor pitch stone near Newtile in Scotland.
Okay.
Where there you go.
Oh,
Describes the bike
this.
as an
I like
absolute
this.
workhorse that's rapid on the flats and on the climbs, and done 30,000 kilometres on it.
No way. The bike looks boss. It says, please forgive the annoying crank arm that's not level. We can forgive that.
That does look really good, doesn't it?
I feel like I want to be lenient with this bike.
I think that's cool.
Can we be lenient with this?
Yeah, I do. I like a Cinelli.
Yeah, me too.
It's good.
Super nice. Okay, next up, Martin James with a Lauf Siegler with Zip 303 Explore Hoops. Sunny ride from Balmoral, Aberdeenshire, through to Loch Muke.
A lot of Scottish
Pronounced Mick.
A lot of Scottish entries.
Yeah, big in Scotland.
Tell you what though, that looks blooming incredible. There.
That's nuts. Look at those
Can we
massive
get a ride
tyres.
there?
I
think
wanna do that.
that's a super nice on the basis that they've managed to sort of set up the bike
Yeah.
in the 5 minutes of the one day
Sunny.
of this year where it was sunny in Scotland. In that
Super nice for
location.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Super nice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's proper cool.
That's really cool. I'd like to go
I
visit
want to
that.
ride there.
Yeah.
And I want to ride there on a bike with massive chunky boy tyres like that. That looks great fun.
Ed Kernell, probably not worth a super like, but
What's a super like?
Yeah, I was clearing out my dad's shed and found my first road bike from 18 years ago. Upgraded it on pocket money budget. Aluminium focus. What would make it?
Calabro. Oh, yeah.
I kind of quite like it.
I used to sell these.
Remember that was mental.
Yeah.
Remember the days of Aero seat posts like this, where it was like the Aero bit was the external bit, and you couldn't put it down very low.
Because you bought it as an add-on because it was on a standard 27.2 seat post. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. What is that? Is that a Campag?
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
Chain ring on there.
But SRAM, it's got SRAM group set. But
look, if it works, then it's all good.
And we did say upgrade it on pocket money budget.
I think that's good. The only, I think, it's the chain and the cassette look a little bit dirty. Could they be scrubbed up with some degreaser?
It could be, and the garden could do a little tidy up, if I'm honest.
Only on a pocket money budget though, so we're being
picky.
We're being applying a dispensation.
You lead on this. I don't want to seem too harsh.
Nice flight saddle on there. There you go. I think because it's on a pocket money budget.
Super nice.
It's a nice.
It's just a...
No. That came out wrong. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying, I think even the owner themselves in their thing said it's probably not worth a
super like.
It's like they you've got to believe in you. You know what I mean? Like they know, what that suggests to me is they know that with the presentation of that, they know they could have done better. But it's not about the bike. I just think it could be cleaner in the drivetrain and it could be a photo that sells it more. Okay, right, there you go. We'll end on just a nice, which means the bike roll has ended, which means it comes to the end of this week's GCN Tech Show. It was actually mega fun, this week. You say that every week, like you're surprised that it's going to be... I just like saying it was mega fun. Well, it's because you're on holiday so much, I have to just... I'm working. I just hang this place out by myself. I keep this show alive, yeah? Right, before we have an argument, we're out of here. Love you, bye.